Well,
Hello, friend.
it's Leaf Talk, JD Bunkis, Sam McKee. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkis, at Sam McKee, where you can see our passive aggressive Toronto Maple Leafs tweets as they get embarrassed.
Oh,
Embarrassed by the Buffalo Sabres. 9-3. When you get the "we want 10" chant, that's as low as you can go. You know, that's what was the guy in Futurama that was the limbo champion? Hermes. That's a Hermes level low.
Wasn't a Futurama guy. Never saw Futurama, so I'll have to take your word for it.
No,
But
yeah.
So when this game popped up on the schedule and I looked at when it was, I was like, man, that would be a really fun one to go to, right? Like right before Christmas, right down in Buffalo, maybe go out for some Lenovo wings before the game, get a nice little hotel room, go to the Chino, watch the Leafs game. And if I had gone to watch the Owens on Attack lose 8-2 to the London Knights, and then followed by going to Buffalo to watch the Leafs lose 9-3 to the Sabres, would have been a tough couple of weeks for your boy. But I don't know. I don't know where you want to start. Like it just felt.
I think there's only.
It just felt like ultimate quit. Was a lot of quit in them tonight. They were just waiting to quit, and they got their excuse to, and they stopped.
I think we got to start with the goalie because the big story. And Ilya Samsonov, I tweeted this stat, but he's now given up 4 more in half of his starts. Half. By the way, it should actually be more than half, but he got pulled after 3 goals in one of the starts against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
So, half the time you're putting this guy in net, you're saying to the team, you got to get 5 to win. Yes. And tonight was just about as bad as I've seen a goalie play in the NHL. Like this is if this was the, late 1980s and we're talking about, Darren Pang in net flying around with street hockey gear, then I would go,
be nice to my boy Panger. Come on now.
Hey, of course, but I'm just saying that, when he put on Ben Bishop's pads, they went up to his chin. All right. Outside of that era, this is as bad as I can remember seeing a goalie play. Like this is worse than Casimir Kaskasuo played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is one of the worst performances I can remember from a goaltender. Like this guy was swimming in his net all night long, and he just looks like someone who has lost complete confidence in his game. And I know what he's doing here, man. I know what he's doing here. This is the same that I look like as a young goalie, just desperate, trying to make saves. Like that's all it is. These are hope plays. This is hope moves in the net. He's lost. He's gone. He's done. I don't know what else to say about it.
Barney said it in the intermission really well, that it's like this is the goalie equivalent of gripping your stick too tight. Like it's you're so desperate to make some saves that you're just over the top. And like, I got to tell you, this is pro sports and he's making a lot of money. The shot of him down the tunnel, sitting with his head hung in the dark, it was like, oh my God. Like it is, it's on like, look how far to the, sorry, if you're watching here, look, gives the whole net. He's not even fighting to find the puck. Like it's just,
but he doesn't even know where his net is.
I know. I really am at a loss for words here in terms. I know I'm supposed to talk words, but like, I really don't know where you go from here. I don't think you can put him back in. Okay. I don't think you can put him back in, period.
This is the debate. So I've been thinking about it during the entire game because let's be honest here. We didn't have to focus on much because the Leafs didn't really do much. This game was over. The third period was just all collecting thoughts. I was asking people like, okay, what are the scenarios here? I was starting to text people what goaltenders are out there. I started trying to do the research myself. The best name that I was handed was Myrtle sent me Yaro Halak is a free agent right now. And he's someone who had he's 38 years old. He's old, but go look at his stats last time he played. They were all right. He had a PTO with Carolina and like it didn't work out. Carolina's a team that is, I think, got the worst goaltending in the NHL. They're desperate and they didn't want him there. So that's the kind of bar that you're looking at here, right? Like this is the type of level of goaltending that you need. The good news for the Leafs is if you look at the schedule, you can get away with playing Marty Jones in the next 3. You can kick this decision for a week and see how he practices, see how he deals with some of the coaching, the counseling, whatever it is. But these are basically your options, Leaf fans. You go to the waiver wire and you try to pick up someone who none of the other teams have wanted on a minimum deal for a guy that you end up waiving the second Wool gets back. Or you bring up Dennis Hildeby, who is he's a baby. He's got 12 career starts in pro hockey, and he's playing really well with the Marlies. And my thing with that is I've usually been someone that says don't fear calling up young guys, because if one bad start or two bad starts breaks a guy, then you're probably never going to end up with much of a guy anyway. But I just feel like 12 pro starts for someone that's starting their Marlies career really well it's a pretty risky maneuver to ask him to come in and play in front of the Leafs. Like at that point, I'm with you. I don't think Samsonov should be playing. It's hard for me to envision another game for him, but given the options, here's what I would do. I would play the next couple games with Jones, and I would give Samsonov another chance against the Columbus Blue Jackets, where it's the front end of a back-to-back, see what happens in that game, and then go from there.
Well, I was just looking at the schedule here while you were talking. Yep. And like you said, this is a horrific stretch of hockey games here. I guess you can sell yourself in the Sens, but Jackets, Sens, Jackets. And then you're looking at that Saturday, the 30th start. I feel like we're talking about, like a baseball schedule here. It's like, who's going to start that Saturday game? It's like, well, they don't have any options. And it's like, it really feels that it's at that point where it's someone outside of the organization could start that game. Samsonov could start that game. Hildeby could start that game. It really feels like it could go in any direction. But let me just put it out there. Putting Hildeby in there is nuts. I can't do that. I know there's people that are calling for it. There's people that are, saying he's great with the Marlies or whatever. But to me, that is just way too much to ask, way too soon. I guess it's one start. You can sell yourself on that. I don't know
but really. It's not one start, right?
That's what I mean.
This is the thing. If you're calling up Hildeby, solution. Yeah, you've got another month where Joe Wool is going to be on the shelf at least. Okay, his injury is going to be until February. It's a high ankle sprain. We just went over this. It's basically a 6-week injury. What we do know about the injury, and I'm not going to play doctor. We had enough of that during the pandemic. But what we do know about that is that it wasn't a traumatic injury. It was one that was not caused by like a hard pressure. He didn't catch an edge. It was soft contact, high ankle sprain, one where he kind of bends it the wrong way. It's probably going to be around 6 weeks. So that takes you into February. If you're calling up Dennis Hildeby, you're not asking him for one spot start, one emergency start where your goaltender gets back. You're asking him to be an NHL goaltender and be on the road and be sitting and not playing games behind Marty Jones for over a month. And I'm with you. I'm not comfortable there. I think the options are you scour the waiver wire, you see if you can pick up a veteran, and you fire him in net, and you let Samsonov sit. The thing is once you pull that cord, I don't think there's any going back to Samsonov. And I'm really not sure who you're getting on waiver wire is going to be keeping, less than $4.
Make a trade, I guess. Like you're going to need a guy here. You can't. Well, you're going to need a guy here regardless. Well, you literally can't because it's the freeze. So you can't make a trade here in the next little bit because the rosters are frozen. I don't know when that comes out. Is that the 27th of that lifts? I don't know when it is that it lifts.
Yeah, it's right after Christmas.
You're going to need a guy anyway. Even when Wool comes back. Like Martin Jones, you love him, but like he can't, if he's your guy, we saw Wool get hurt on a nothing play. Like you said, it was a flipper towards the net that he sprains his ankle on. You obviously can't depend on Samsonov. You can't. Oh, so it lifts on the 28th. Thank you. But you can't depend on Sam. Like you need another body in here. I don't think, because you can't depend on Samsonov at all. You have to act that he's gone. You have to act like he's not a guy that you can go to here for the next little bit. Don't you think? Like, where's it going to improve?
No, I think that you try to, like I said, to me, the scenario is you try to pick someone up off waivers, and you're hoping for some unsigned free agent that can come in here who's a vet and just play better than what Samsonov's giving you right now. Like I said, the last goal that he lets in, right, the one that shot at his glove is just.
And he looks at his glove. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it just he's broken, man. He's broken right now. Like there's just no other way to put it. He's got no game whatsoever. There was a little play it was the breakaway actually on the power play. His first big save of the game. The Leafs are on a 5-on-3, and I think who was it that steps out of the box for the Samuelson. He steps out, he gets a stride, he tries to make a play. Samsonov makes just like an okay, good save, probably gets tucked. Timmins comes back, breaks it up, and I think, okay, dude, there you go. Like, there's one.
Yeah.
Now you felt it on your pad. Go and find the rest of your game. And then the rest of it was just that same swimming, desperate style, followed by a lot of horrific body language. And yeah, I don't think it's good for him. I don't think it's good for the team. I will say that I think the team buried him tonight, and I think those guys should be embarrassed and that they should be apologizing. Like Mitch Marner, the third goal that the team gave up, like, you know, that's a struggling goalie, and you make that kind of just like JV like play in your own end. It's just like you're supposed to be one of the leaders of the team, and you do that. Like, that's gross. Sorry,
yeah,
but it is.
It's a terrible play by Samsonov too, going out there and Rimiter, like, you know. He's not set. He's not settled. There's guys right on top of Marner. It's a suicide pass to Marner. He's got no chance. Like, the guy's on him while he turns. Look.
Sure.
It's like, that's a terrible play. He throws it right to, like, that's on Samsonov too. He was awful.
I mean, and you can blame him for everything. It's a horrible play by Marner.
I truly, like, it was a despicable effort, but they quit. They saw the goals that were going in.
Yep.
It's hard to keep playing. Like, it's just, they're like, you know, it's 2 days away from Christmas. Every shot's going in the net. We don't care. Like, it's a pretty clear reason why they stopped playing here. And they put old poor Marty Jones in there, who, like, they need his confidence to be, and they just stopped playing. So, you know, you can't give them a break for it, but a lot of it had to do with just what they see going in the net. It's hard to keep going.
Yeah, I will say, though, that it's a pretty gutless effort from a team when Ilya Samsonov's a guy that last year for you stepped up and gave you a ton of big quality saves.
Sure, man, but they're not thinking about last year. They're thinking about 4 goals that go in. No, I'm just saying, though. It's like, they're not like, oh, every game he gives up 4. Let's think about how great he was last year. That's not what they're thinking about.
How many games have they played well in front of him?
I don't know. I don't know.
1?
Sure.
2?
Okay, we'll go 1. Yeah. Whatever fits your narrative, buddy. I don't know. Like, he's let in 4. You gave him the stat off the top that he's let in, out of half his games, he's let in 4 goals.
He's been horrific. And all I'm saying is that sometimes you need to try and pick up your teammates. And I thought that the way that the Leafs played in this hockey game, which was, we're going to play pond hockey in the first period. Like, this wasn't something like, oh, the pucks went in the net and then they quit. This was, they were playing pond hockey from the outset. The first goal of the game that goes in after Jordan Greenway lays a massive hit I know, but it's a complete misplay where the Leafs give up the zone. Look at this play. It's the same thing as the McCabe play from the night before, where it's like 2 guys go, make a misread, and then they just walk it right in. Like, it's awful. Like, this is a bad goal, Sammy. Like, I don't know why you can't get this. I don't know what you're not grasping here. You think that the Leafs played a tight hockey game tonight?
No, but like, you're blaming this on you're blaming on anyone other than Samsonov on this is insane.
Buddy, it's not.
It's a fall away wrister from the top of the circle.
It's not blaming. It's saying, can you as a team show some adversity in front of your guy who's struggling here? And I don't think the team did that well tonight. I thought this was a dog effort from the Leafs.
Sure,
it was a bad effort from the Leafs. And I don't think that, like, okay, because your goaltender lets in a bad goal, that should be putting you into, okay, it's fine, let's just go into quit mode. I think that's a bad tendency from the team.
It's a different situation, though, when with a goalie that you trust versus a goalie that you're obviously petrified of playing in front of, where
all right.
It's like, well, no, it's true. You know, every game you're worried about this guy. He's hanging his head. Every shot that goes towards the net, you're scared that it's going to go in. It's like, you know, I don't know. It's psychology with hockey players. It's like, if your goalie stinks, it's hard to play. They were bad, but when the first shot of the game that's from above the circle goes in the net, you know, it's pretty clear how you're going to, I don't know. They played like crap. Don't get me wrong here, but a lot of it stems from what happened in net. That's what I'll say.
Totally agree.
Okay. Perfect.
We have a clip. Play the clip.
Do? What's the clip?
Yeah, the dominoes of this thing to me are terrifying. I'm sorry. Like, I know that I'm being probably polypanic over here, but
this is panicking. You're just going on and on. You're proving me wrong. Is that what it is? Not a great guy here. Is that what it is? I'm just not saying they're like going to Michael Hutchinson.
This was great.
Guy here.
Sick clip, buddy.
Samsonov.
This was me saying I'm really worried about Ilya Samsonov in net. I don't think he can play anymore.
It's in there.
And yeah, Joe, we can pull it down. Like, it doesn't have the audio, so it didn't really work. I thought we tested that, but Jobo says they can. There is audio. Whatever. It was a funny clip. I can't remember what the paraphrase is, but I think you called me.
You're bringing up Mr. Right clips here, buddy, with a Christmas season. Oh my god!
It's a funny clip of you saying that I'm something worrywart and that Samsonov's the man and that he's going to play great and that he's going to settle the season, that you got a lot of confidence.
Pull up a clip to make me look dumb. That's what you wanted to do.
No, it's a funny clip, for God's sake.
It's hilarious.
It is.
We talk about the Leafs 2 hours a day for every day, and it's like you're going to pull up a clip about me being an idiot? Like,
yeah, it's a funny clip.
Yeah, to you, maybe.
Yeah, well, if we had the clip, it would have worked.
Yeah,
the sound looks bad. But yes, he was not good. He's not good. I don't think he should play another game for the Leafs. I don't think that the effort in front of him was quality at all tonight. I don't think that the team has played well in front of him. Basically, like the Columbus start was pretty much the same thing where they come out and they kind of play poorly. He lets in bad goals. It's a chicken and egg thing. But no, I think that this is a shot goaltender who might be done in the market. Like, I'm not sure what
Kipper said his next start should be up for the Marlies.
Yeah. Again, I'm with him, but then again, I'm presented with the options and I go, I don't know what the other case is. Like, who are you bringing in here? I guess at this point, I think that he's a well below negative replacement. And if you can get even someone who can hold 3, more consistently give you 4, not have that body language that breaks you, I think that's kind of what you need to do right now. Anyway, I don't really have much else from this game because it's pretty much just Samsonov and like what you do with him.
Love that Matthews goal at the start of the game. Holy hell,
lost to history.
Loved it. That was such a beautiful goal. Coming off the sideboards there and just like, this is goal scorer. Look at that. Bing turns his back in the net. And it's like, people probably get on Levi for that, but that hit the back of the net before he knew where it was. That was a ridiculous play by Matthews, where the way the game started with Matthews was like, he's going to score 7 goals tonight. He was unbelievable and he just totally went away. So yeah, I'm not going to praise him too much, but I thought this goal was particularly pretty. Like, look at the weight of Bing.
Beautiful. He's on pace for 73 goals.
Yeah.
Like, it's not been talked about too much because I think he's had the slumps and then they've all come at us in waves. And so I think it's crept up on people. Like, they haven't really fully been aware of what this looks like and what this is. He's got as many career goals. I mentioned this on my show a couple of days ago, that he's got as many career goals as Ovechkin did through now. I think it's 510 career games.
Yeah, he's legitimately like on all-time pace.
That's what I mean. And if you think about all the games that Ovechkin ended up missing because of lockouts and shortened seasons, and part of that has been Matthews as well. But like, I'm not going to say he's going to break the all-time goals record. I don't think that's going to happen. No, I don't think that's going to happen. But I do think that there's going to be a time where he's on an incredible pace where people are going to be looking at it and saying, all right, like, they're going to have the same conversations. Remember when we had them about Ovechkin like 3 or 4 years ago? We were like, this could actually happen. But then it drops off. Like, Ovechkin's the greatest goal scorer I've ever seen. And he's got 1 goal this year, even strength, and we've gone over this, but like, it just drops off. So I don't think Matthews will ever break the goal scoring record, but I do think that there will be a moment in his career, especially this year, if he can score 65 plus, which I think is very much on the table, where
for sure
we go, you know what? Like, this pace, this is like, will he pass Gordie Howe?
What's Gordie Howe's total?
I think 802.
I'm not, maybe you can save this clip for Leafs talk down the road, or you can play and make me look dumb again. Maybe we can find that one.
I think it's dumb. It's just a funny clip.
Because they've never done that ever.
I know, but it was because it happened so fast. It was 2 weeks ago where you're like, he's going to steady the net. It's like, will he ever be a Leaf again? 2 weeks later.
I was going to bring up Max Domi, who had a great first day at the Masters tonight. I think he was -4. Did love him just starting a fight for no reason at the end because he's mad. It's like, there's been so many games where the Leafs have played like crap and they just look like they don't care. And I do love the one squirrely guy just being like, acting like a dick. I do like that. I appreciate it. It's like, it's probably his last shift of the game. Skinner probably said something to him and he just was like, I'm going to do something dumb. And I liked it. I like that. Still hockey.
I like this goal more. Again, I can't believe the Leafs had pretty goals in this game.
Beautiful. I was like, hey man, shoot it. He just went bar down from the top of the circle. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a really nice goal. By the way, that secondary assist that Liljegren got there, that's only his 2nd point of the season. It's 13 games, but it's something.
He's not really, I don't think he's going to be the type of guy that you think too much about point production. He's just whatever he is. Like, you don't notice him a ton. He's just like a kind of, I don't know if someone said to me, describe Timothy Liljegren's game, I'd have a really hard time. Like, what would you say is his defining feature?
Timothy Liljegren?
Yes.
He's a good skater.
Yeah. Okay. That's
outside of that, I don't really know what
I have. He's a good skater. You're like, good reads, can snap a pass, I guess, but like, there's not a ton to his game.
Yeah. He's all right. But yeah, I think anyway, the point I was making is, to me, this is a really important stretch for him and McCabe, and seeing what they are as a pairing and if they can be a number 2 pairing. But I think the only way that works is if you're a number 2 pairing and you're not clearly locked down, then you got to provide points. And I'm not sure they're going to be able to do that either. And so when people say, hey, the Leafs need 2 defensemen, I go, I don't know. I feel like they just need one to knock everybody down. But yeah, maybe it is 2. Maybe it does end up being 2.
Oh, so all they need is 2 defensemen, a goalie, third line center, and anything else, or are they good with that?
No, I think I'm with the thinking of, I want to see Domi with a bigger third line winger.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then move him off as center for now. I don't know. Like, here's my thought on the Domi conversation, because it's been like dominant in the Leafs sphere. The people are red hot mad about the Domi stuff, right?
Dashboard.
My Domi thing is, I don't know how you could ever watch him and think that like he could develop as a offense or a defensive player. Like, that's not ever player.
That was the whole thing. That was the knock. Everyone was like, oh, they're really going to lose a lot defensively with Domi and Bertuzzi. That was like the whole conversation all offseason.
And that's just it. So that's not going to happen. But I want to see all the teams in hockey right now in the flat cap that have a third line center that actually brings something to a team. Right? Like, yeah, by the way, Austin Matthews, I think just collectively probably one of the worst games since I've been here. Like, so.
I mean,
yeah.
You better say that.
Yeah.
Oh, they just didn't fall for us tonight. Like, a couple bad bounces. Like, what do you expect them to say? I would hope he says that. Yeah. They lost 9-3 to the Sabres, who stink.
Yeah, that's the thing too. The Sabres stink. You know what though? This is just Sabres get up for this game. This is their
Super Bowl. They care so much.
I know.
And I would like to, my final shout out, I would like to give a shout out to William Nylander and Matthew Nyes for being even tonight. Both guys even. Yep, pretty good. Everybody else dashes. Those 2 guys even, so they can be like, "See, coach, wasn't my fault. I was even tonight."
I was just picturing Nylander frantically skating to the bench as the Sabres are breaking out on 2-on-1s as he's in a contract year. My final shout out is to Alex Wong, who wrote this book, Prehistoric. If you can see it right here.
What a fantastic fella Alex Wong is.
Yeah. I read this book over the week. I had him on my pod today. We talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of basketball books. I'm a big fan of sports books in general, like sports history books.
I should read more.
Yeah. Listen, I mix in the odd book. There'll be a lot of sports books and a lot of history books. Like, I'm kind of a, two-tune Tony. It's like, you can find me in this, you can find me in the same sections at chapters every time, like history or sports, baby, and combine the 2, you got yourself a winner. This book is excellent, and if you're a Raptors fan and you're somebody that's knows a Raptors fan and you're doing late minute holiday shopping, I highly recommend it. It's like, I enjoyed the hell out of this book. And even when he first told me about the premise and he was like, it's about the start of the Raptors expansion team, I was like, the Sky Dome team with no wins
beat MJ, bud.
And that chapter is honestly like a riveting chapter to read. No joke.
I got to pick up a copy for myself and I'll read it.
It's really, really good. It's really, really good. Anyways, go buy that book. Subscribe to this podcast.
What was I going to say? I had one more thing. It doesn't matter. All good. Let her rip.
All right. Yeah. Leave 5 stars. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube, Spotify, whatever those things are. And then we will see you on Saturday against
Columbus. Are we both going to be on separate locations for that, baby?
No, I'm going to be here still.
Oh, you're still there? You're leaving on the 24th?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm leaving on Christmas Eve.
Okay, I'm going to be in a location unknown. So
yeah, good luck with that. Oh, all of a sudden your internet's not going to work for Columbus. Yeah.
No. Hey, buddy, it's a good router. I know where I'm going. I know has a solid router, so we'll be good.
Yeah. All right. For JD Bunkis and Sam McKee, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Saturday night.